Salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Peace and blessings be to all you guys. Peace and blessings be to all your family members. Those who are in the struggle. Those who are not. Blessings. Blessings be to all. Today I woke up with a rainy day. If you can notice, it's not that bright. We have rain today. Barometer says 52 degrees. It's not much wind, so it's not that bad, and it ain't pouring as hard as it usually does when it rains here. But we need the water, we need the rain. Like I said, it's been a dry time here in this part. I don't know anywhere else. Today I just turned on the camera just to speak with you guys, just to chat, just to, you know, just to have a small little conversation. And what came to mind this morning was a thought that I have had for a long time, because this is something that I have, you know, I see and I feel, and I have spoken with this with other elders and all that. And what I'm speaking about is women, the strength, the spirituality that women have. I don't know. I'm sorry for the chime. That's for my seatbelt. I don't put it on here locally. My fault. I don't know if it's by Nsambi Mpungu, that power that be, that made women, you know, because women could have children and stuff like that. I don't know if it's intuition. I don't know if they got double spirits, double souls. I don't know. But if you notice, women are very spiritual. The ones that either practice it or not. Women foresee things. I'm not saying that men don't, and I'm not saying that men are not spiritual, because we are. But there's something more natural that it comes in a woman. Like, spirituality comes so natural in a woman. And when a woman practices her spirituality, she's a very well, we could say whatever, spiritist, we could say Ocha priest, we could say Ngangulera, we could say whatever we could say, because they have this already in them. It's just that some of them don't work on themselves to build and bring it out more strong and have more sense of awareness. And sometimes it could be a blessing and a curse, you know, because you got to understand, if you're a person that you can see spirits and talk to spirits, you know, either you go nuts or you understand it, you know how to stop it and deal with it. A lot of people go crazy, you know, because they can't deal with that. But this is something that I always thought about, you know, and this is a lot of the, when I spoke on the other video speaking about the machismo, the things, you know, that kind of not eliminated, but it kind of like dumbed down the woman to a certain degree in the traditions. This is something that, you know, if you go back and you read a little history on especially the African traditions and stuff, even in Ocha, you will see that the women were the ones who brought a lot of the practice and were the ones who actually taught men how to divine, because of the gift that they had. I'm not saying that all women in all traditions are the ones who gave certain practices to men and men took it away, or men became like the authoritative on top of them and started eliminating that for they could stay in charge. But I'm saying in some practices, women were the ones who had a lot of knowledge, had a lot of spirituality, were the ones who were divine for you. And I'm gonna bring in a small the movie Woman King, right? The Woman King, which she was not a king, but that's how it states. If you look and you watch that movie, who you see who's divining there? You see a woman tefando, and a wooden tablero. You see the woman divining. Why? Because it was known in that tradition that the woman also had the capability to divine. They also divined. It wasn't just the men. You know, so women are very spiritual. And a woman who develops, or in other words, puts in practice her spirituality and knows how to work with her spirituality, they are very, very strong. Very, very, you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful with a woman that's very in tune with her spirituality and has things that she uses to practice her tradition. A woman is very strong. And in just humanity, right? Just taking into a humanistic or looking at it with human eyes. And let's not go into just, the man and the woman, you know, because of the beauty of the woman, because of the way the woman speaks, because of the way the woman treats the man, because of the way the woman caters to him and all that. When she wants something, she knows the exact words at the right time or at the right moment, what to say or what to do to get that out of the man, right? We're not even talking in that. If you're a man, you understand. If you're a woman, you understand even more. Even with a daughter, right? You have a daughter that you love and she loves you and she treats you like you are her everything. And your daughter comes to ask you for something, whatever it may be, because the love that you have for that, because of the way you look at your daughter, right? That's your world. You'll break your back. You'll bend over backwards to do for your daughter. I'm not saying you won't do it for your son, because it could be a son also. But I'm just giving you examples of how females in particular have something in them. Spiritual, emotional, physical. There's things that a woman has that we know men do not have. Men are more, less sensitive, even though these days there are a lot of sensitive men. And that has to do with a lot of things that are going on with the food, with the houses not being raised with a father figure there. And it's a lot of things that go on. I don't want to get into that because that goes into a lot of conspiracy theories and all that. And, I have done my research and I understand a little bit some of the causes of all this. Not all, but some. So, this morning I was like, well, let me speak a little bit about it. And at the same time, I'm bigging up the woman. I'm bigging up all those females, all those ladies, all those mothers out there that are looked down upon, and that they know that they have the capabilities to do certain things, but they cannot do it because of the tradition and the limitations. But they have a mouth to speak. And if a woman that I respect says something to me, and either cause, but let's say we spoke in spirituality, I'm going to pay attention to it. Because just because she's a woman doesn't mean that she doesn't have her gifts. Because like I want and already said, women are naturally born with something spectacular about them that has to do with being very connected in the realm of spirits and spirituality. So at the same time, I understand and I can see why some traditions hold back women from exceeding to a certain limit, right? Because just look at it in a sense of in a common sense way. You're a husband, right? And you have a wife. I'm looking over here. I'm looking at addresses. And you're not being you're not being a very good husband. You probably are doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, if you know what I mean. And you have a wife that have these spiritual abilities naturally, but now she has been able to master them, manipulate. It's very good and what she knows and she understands. And she go ahead and she does something on you. That's a very dangerous situation. So that is another reason, if you want to look at it, why some of the traditions suppress the woman to an extent. And I'm not saying that they all do it. I'm just saying some of them do that because they understand this. They know that a woman with very well developed is stronger than them and could do damage. So they restrict the woman in a certain category so they don't exceed, because they're trying to protect themselves. So it's things that, like always, guys, I wake up, it comes to mind, I'm driving, I'm thinking, and it's something that you see. Hasn't your mom ever told you something that you never told anyone? Or hasn't your mom ever called you when you're in the middle of something, or you have your mind on going something, and she tells you, don't go there. Oh, I got a bad feeling, about something. I don't know. I had a dream, and boom, you don't listen, and something happens to you. Or something happens at the area or the place where you're around, a friend, something. But she warned you. Not saying that men do not get this, because I get it. I get dreams and I get flashes, things that it's put in my mind, and depending of who I think it could be, I call, But the women are no joke when it comes to spirituality. So for all my females, for all my ladies, for all my mothers, my sisters, my aunts, my grandmothers, my great-great-grandmothers, and so on, I greet you always with peace, with all the respect that you deserve. And I hope that you understand or understood what I said in this video. And nothing. I wish you always the best. Without women, we are no one. There are 3 things stipulated in most of the Enzos and most of the Ramas on what a Yaya or what is a Yaya's limitation. The most fundamental ones that I understand, and I could be wrong, is a Yaya cannot initiate. She needs to have a baconfula, a mayordomo, somebody there that she has male, there's a tata that does the initiations for her. But that doesn't mean that the tata becomes the godfather of that initiate. And that is debatable too, because some say that he becomes both the tata and the man. But let's leave that alone. Let's say that's her, because that's her prenda is being initiated on. It's not his. Okay? Now, the second thing, she cannot sacrifice animals that have 4 legs. Why? Because you would need a knife to sacrifice that animal. And Yayas are not allowed to sacrifice animals with knives. That's the second. Third, she cannot build an enkisi, an nganga, a fundamento. She needs to have a man there to build the fundamento. She could direct and say where she wants what and what goes in, but she can't actually put her hands in there and build that fundamento. Okay? That is the 3 primary things that a Yaya, from my understanding, is not allowed to do throughout a lot of Ramas. Not all, because there are some Ramas that Yaya sacrifice 4-legged beasts. They use animals, knives. They initiates with a blade. They build the enkisi. There are some out there. But in the majority, these are the 3 fundamental things that a Yaya is not allowed to do. Other than that, than those 3, a Yaya could do everything else, from my understanding. Anything else that a Tata could do, a Yaya could do. You know? From my understanding, like I said. Of course, if she has a male that comes and she's going to do a spiritual bath or a rompimiento or something, she wants to have a man to do it. Because it's a thing of, it has to do with, ethics. Same thing goes with a man. If a female needs a spiritual cleaning, a bath, a rompimiento, well, your man is not allowed to do that. The Yaya does that. Same way. But other than that, from my understanding, that is the only 3 things that a Yaya cannot do. Other than that, a Yaya could do everything else, from my understanding.